Hello everyone, it is I, Republic Suds, and today we are going to be taking a look at the first ever Series 1 of the LEGO Star Wars Micro Fighters. Now these sets are really important because these were my first ever LEGO Star Wars sets. For those who are not aware, I have been a LEGO Star Wars fan for about 8 years now. It started all the way back in 2014, where I started collecting sets. I first saw Star Wars, and then I walked into a Barnes & Nobles and saw this set. In fact, I still have the original. This one right here. I walked in, I saw a cheap LEGO Star Wars set, about $10 with Han Solo in it, and I had to have it right away. And like that, this ridiculous addiction started. I moved on, I got a set like this. In fact, I have owned nearly every one of these sets. I think this is the only time that I've actually gotten this one for the first time. I actually did go on Mercari and I bought an entire lot of all of these for about $34, and I am going to be showing you all of them today, just showing you the novelty of them, and including one of the best minifigures ever to come in a $10 set. So with that said, I'm going to ask you all to hit that subscribe button, and we are going to start and take a look at each and every one of them. First up, before we actually take a look at all the builds, I just want to show you what the instructions look like. They were very simplistic back in the day. The builds are very nice. And then you move to the actual back of the manuals, and we get, this iconic stuff. Visit LEGO Star Wars. There's that kid. You have the Micro Fighters app. And of course, you have the iconic minifigures. Man, was this a year for LEGO Star Wars. You get the sets. Look at that. Like 4 battle packs. That's nuts. And yeah, that's kind of it. You get the Wing Kid on the back, who I did interview, which is very cool. Let's take a look at the sets. We're going to start off with my first ever LEGO Star Wars set, the Han Solo Micro Fighter. It is not the coolest ship, but it certainly is neat. This is the first of them, so it was cool at the time. They keep redoing it, obviously, so it's less cool nowadays. But as for the build, it is pretty solid. There's a lot of stuff that I remember building when I was rebuilding this recently in a live stream. For instance, when you lift up this top panel right here, there is like a little red fuel canister in there. They just throw in random stuff they don't have to do, but they do. And I appreciate that. And then, you can fix that right back in place. Obviously, it's not really supposed to come out. You have the landing gear, which are done a little, spaced weirdly. I never understood that. You also do get this originally exclusively printed piece. And then, of course, the big draws of these, you get full-on minifigures. This is a cheap way to get Han Solo. You get the wraparound printing. He still had this classic hairdo back in the day. And, obviously a mini Micro Falcon. And before stud shooters, you had the Flickfire missiles. I believe this was the last year of Flickfire. This was also a big problem. The little antenna thing would always come off. But you could always, of course, just shoot it off. They weren't very powerful, but, I like them more than stud shooters. The back detailing itself wasn't too bad. I love the way they did the engine thrust. Just really nailed it down. Good job. Now, next up, we have a look at my second ever LEGO Star Wars set. This is the X-Wing Micro Fighter. This one is a little, honestly, worse. The build is a lot more fragile. I know I always had a problem with wings falling off, and I never knew exactly how to put it back together. I know I'd have problems. The clips would come undone, and, they'd get loose very quickly. And you also, of course, had these problems. This was a big problem with all of these. You just kind of knock it over, and they fall off with relative ease, which isn't good, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of that. But here is the good thing about this set. You get an amazing X-Wing pilot minifigure. Now, I mistook this for Luke Skywalker when I was younger, but obviously it is not Luke Skywalker, but it still is cool. And one of the things I love about this, I don't think we've ever seen in a Micro Fighter, and yes, I broke those things again. We have a little R2 droid that is green on here, which is amazing, and you also, of course, do get the back thrusts, which look really good. And then, of course, finally, you can actually open up all of the wings, and you can lock S-foils in attack position, which is really cool. So it's a flawed set, and certainly not the best, but it's still pretty cool. Now, I know I got this one not long after the X-Wing, and this is the TIE Fighter. Now, first off, this came with one of the better TIE Fighter minifigures. I do not know why they changed up the design after this, because they kind of peaked here. This is just a great designed minifigure. You do, of course, get the Angry Clone face print. You get some just nice leg printing. You actually, get leg printing on him, which is amazing. And then, he just looks good. As for this is a TIE Striker style set. We don't get these in LEGO that often. I even struggle to come up with the name of this specific TIE. And it was pretty cool. I remember back in the day, playing with it like this. Kind of looks like the TIE Defender, if I'm being honest. And, it is overall a solid set. Obviously, just, again, it's LEGO, so it's going to fall apart a little. And, you flick off the flick fires. Again, you flick them, but it's kind of hard, you know, because they are so small. They were much easier back in the day. And if you decide you don't want this, you could, if you want, take it off. It is very not fixated in or technically built in. And you also did get, of course, this amazing little piece right here. This is a nice printed piece for a microfighter, very sizable build, and good combatant for the X-Wing. Next up, we of course have the iconic Star Destroyer. I believe this is the best value microfighter. Look at the size of those pieces. They would charge like 40 bucks for this nowadays because it comes with relatively nice sized pieces. You get an officer here, which honestly is why I never really got this one. I traded it way later on in life, like 2017, 18, because it's just it's not exciting. I like the hat a lot. They don't use that hat anymore for officers. And again, came with that leg printing on the TIE pilot. Lego, use more leg printing like that. He came with nice big bricks. Came with the flick fires. It just looks good. I really actually appreciated this one build feature in which you just kind of pull this on. It holds. You get some nice back engines. And yeah, that's really all you have to say about it. Next up, we have the best of the entire wave, and I was happy and fortunate enough to pick this up when I did. This is the Clone Turbo Tank. It is amazing. First off, you get all of the 10 wheels. I actually think the real Juggernaut has a little bit more. I honestly don't know. But yeah, so first off, this is the big deal because it came with the only official set version that was not in an advent calendar of the plain Phase 2 White Trooper, which is an amazing minifigure, one of a kind. We have not seen really that much at all. I love it. One of my favorite minifigures, period. It's just a good-looking minifigure. You get the leg printing, you get the torso printing, and again, the best style of clone helmet ever to be made. I don't know why Lego got rid of it. It just, comes with a lot of area. It comes with the seating arrangements for your pilots and everything, and it, of course, comes with, again, flick fires, which actually that one went off well. Just an overall really solid set. Now let's see what combats it. And this is the worst microfighter. This is the AAT. Now it might not look that bad on its own, but for a $10 value, you're not getting any minifigures. You're just getting a battle droid, and not even a regular battle droid. It's like a blue one. So that's just not exciting. There is area, it fits him very well, so you don't have to worry about him like falling out, which is kind of nice. But other than that, it does come with, just some clips. It comes with flick fires, which I think were actually really well integrated, like the way they do the side cannons, like really well integrated. You have this little top area that spins around, you have the antenna, and then you can also technically lift it up and down, like that. Wow, very cool. And it's certainly the weakest one, but it's still pretty cool. So yeah, this is overall a fascinating line. I love microfighters. Microfighters are great because they offer a cheap opportunity for LEGO Star Wars fans to get characters they want. Now, ideally with these, I think it would be better if they just stuck with main characters and not as much army builders being them. So you throw in Han Solos, you make one a C-3PO one, you make one a Darth Vader one. Generally speaking, I don't like it when they throw things like battle droids in. I remember this was extremely unpopular back in the day, specifically because it only came with one battle droid, obviously, which is worth less than a regular minifigure. And I think it is absolutely fascinating that you do get some cool minifigures. We got one of two. This only came in an advent calendar after this. This guy is amazing. What I believe probably the best clone trooper that we have ever seen in LEGO Star Wars. I absolutely love it. It is really, really good. And you also get some other ones. You get some basic stuff. I remember, I thought this guy was Luke Skywalker. This X-Wing pilot right here, and the face does look like Luke Skywalker, I'll be honest. And the little droid in the back was just a green R2-D2. I thought it was like, oh, whoa, it's Luke in a cheap set? That's sick. I was a very gullible child. But yes, so like things that they honestly could have just improved on. You throw Vader in the Star Destroyer. You throw a Vader in a TIE Fighter. You need to, like, throw essential characters, and this is something I'm a big proponent of, especially for new LEGO Star Wars fans. It gets very hard to find some essential characters, especially as the universe grows. We did recently get a Razor Crest, which also a lot of people think may be the last microfighter, but whatever happens, it is certain that these are no longer going to be $10 sets. So if you want to buy a microfighter that's currently on shelves, buy it now. There's about 2 left. It's a Falcon and a Razor Crest. Go get them at $10. They're probably going to be raising the price to $12 next year if they keep the line going at all. And yeah, if you want to see me review more microfighters, let me know. With that said, I'll see you on the next one. Remember to peace out and stay awesome. Wait. I can't believe you guys were just about to click off this video without liking it. What's the deal? Why'd you do that? Don't do that. Click that like button. I'm still waiting. Okay, you can go now.